Hi. Today we're going to make a pie, and this is Miss Helen's pie recipe, and Miss Helen was Sam's mother. And she passed away about 3 years ago. In fact, his mother and my mother passed away within 3 months of each other. I only have 2 recipes that were Miss Helen's, and one of them was the pimento cheese recipe that's on this channel, and it's an excellent recipe. Well, this is her fudge pie recipe. So we're gonna get started on it, and I hope you enjoy it. She was a wonderful lady, just as sweet as she could be, and a country cook from beginning to end, and just a grand woman. And I want to honor her in some way, so we're gonna make her recipe. All right, so I'm going to put in the bowl, I've already got a stick, which is 4 ounces of melted butter, and you don't want it real hot. It's still warm, but it's not real hot. And I'm going to add a 1.5 cups of sugar to that. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cocoa. The last time I did this, I did not use a strainer, and I regretted it. So this time, I'm going to use a strainer, and I'm going to push it through so that it doesn't have any lumps. I did have a few lumps before, but nothing that was, you know, excessive or detracted from the pie, but really you don't want any lumps. So that was 1 tablespoon. Get the second one out here. This is 2. I made a pie crust earlier, which will be on the channel, probably after, maybe a day or 2 after this pie goes up. But I said in that recording that if your pie crust cracks a lot or crumbles while you're trying to get it to the plate, to the pie tin, you didn't add enough water. Well, if you realize that when you're rolling it out, just wet your hands, not, you know, moisten your hands and rub it over the top of the pie crust, and it should help it a great deal. Help it roll out better. And you may have to do it more than once. Alright, this is going to get all my lumps out. So that was 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. 3 tablespoons. I'm going to mix this up. Now, the last time I made this, I did not use a mixer, and I'm going to advise you to use a mixer. I hope. Let's see. Got a little bit of smoke going there. Alright, that's enough. Now I'm going to add 2 eggs. And we're going to mix again. We're going to mix again with that electric mixer. To get this combined real well. I think the last time I made it, it wasn't to my pleasing, because I just felt like, let me wipe my hands off. that it was, I don't know, too compact. So I thought, well, maybe there wasn't enough air in it because I did it all by hand. So that's why, to show you all how to do it, I'm going to use a mixer. Here we go again. Get those eggs mixed up in there. And I noticed the last time it was baking that it had 2 spots in it that rose higher than the rest. And I said, well, it must be those eggs weren't combined as well as I thought they were. So that's another reason for me using this mixer. Alright, that's all I'm going to do, but I'm going to add something else. So I'm going to stop right now because I'm going to have to mix it again. Alright, I've got some vanilla. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla as soon as I find my teaspoons. Well, let's just guess it. That's probably about a teaspoon. And I'm going to add a half a cup of evaporated milk. Now I've preheated my oven to 400 and it has preheated after the little buzzer goes off to tell you that it's reached temperature. I let it go another 10 minutes because it just really isn't at 400. So preheat your oven. Now, you know I made a pie crust a little earlier, my new go-to pie crust that I just love. And I've had it in the refrigerator. So I'm going to get it out now because the next move is to pour it into that pie crust. I'll be back in just a second here. I'm going to plunge these down into get rid of these beaters before they drip all over everything. Alright, here comes my pie crust. I'm going to go ahead and, well, here's my, oh goodness, oh well. Here's my pie crust. All I'm going to do is pour it in there. Now it's going into a 400-degree oven for the first, excuse me, 10 minutes. Then you're going to turn your oven down to 350. And bake it another 25 or 30 minutes. Now it's going to shake. Miss Helen says, as I recall, that it looks like it's not done, but it is. You have to let it cool completely. So I'll be back when I take this out of the oven. I just took that pie out of the oven, and I want to show you that it will shake. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it will shake like it's not done. But it is done. It's been 25 minutes, and in the meantime, you just have to let it sit till it's totally cool. You cannot cut it till it's totally cool. Alright, in the meantime, I hope I got this in here. I don't really. Alright, I've got a candy bar. Let me see if I can push this pie away. I've got a candy bar that I have had in the refrigerator. It is very cold. Now, her instructions say to shred it, and I did try to shred one last time, and it just didn't do right. So this time, I'm just going to cut it up like this with a knife. And I know you can't see that, but it's so hard to do. So you just take a knife and take your cold candy bar, and I'm not going to use this whole bar, but I'm going to get enough off of it, whoops-a-daisy, to cover this pie. This is milk chocolate, and you have to have it hard or it's not going to do this. That's why I've had it in the refrigerator. I'm going to get about half of it, I guess. And you must use a mixer, electric hand mixer or bowl mixer, whatever, with that pie. You've got to. It won't turn out right with no air beating into it. Alright. Alright, we're going to say that that's half the bar, and there we go. Now, let me get the pie back, which is hot. All I'm going to do is pull, I'm going to pull this back over. There we go. I'm going to take these shredded chocolate pieces, and on this hot pie, I'm dumping it. And you're just going to let it sit there. It's going to melt because this pie is hot. And then we're just going to let it sit until it's totally cool before you ever try to cut it. And when that happens, we'll be back because I'll have Sam taste it. It's his mother's. Hi, our pie is done. And we're ready to, well, Sam's ready to give it a taste. So let's go ahead and do that now. And
I sure am.
You are? Alright, I'm going to give it a cut here.
Did you tell them this was Mother's recipe?
Of course I did. Now it's cool, but I didn't let it cool till the chocolate was solid. But let's take it out. I want to make sure that I get it all. Oop. Look at that.
Well, yeah.
Can you see that?
Get it on the plate.
Look at that pie. Alright, Sam's mother always served hers with whipped cream, so that's what we're going to do. I'll put it on this plate here and put a little whipped cream on it.
That's plenty for me. Yeah.
Here's this whipped cream pie. Can you see it?
Oh.
He's so anxious to try it. Hold on.
I hope it's as good as it looks.
Well, it was your mother's.
I know it.
And I have to tell y'all, this was her recipe. There may be 20 or 30 out there just like it, but I don't think so. Not quite like it. But even if there are, this was her recipe and the way I remembered it, and I hope you all enjoy it. What do you think, Steve?
It's delicious.
Is that her recipe?
Yeah, that's her recipe.
Definitely her recipe. Well, you all give this a try. I know you'll enjoy it. It's delicious, believe me. And I want to thank you for spending part of your day with me. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. And until next time, you all take care.